If you've spent any time learning about options income, you've probably heard the same advice over and over. Sell put options, collect premium, generate cash flow. Then you go and place the trade and you see the capital requirements. We're talking $20,000 to $30,000 for a lot of stocks, and that's just for one contract. And if you've only got a $5,000 or $10,000 account, that's the moment you quietly decide that maybe put selling isn't for you. That's not true. You're not actually locked out. You've just been shown the most capital intensive version there is of put selling. But there's another way, and it's way I would genuinely point smaller accounts towards. Just a quick reminder that everything discussed is for educational purposes only and is general in nature. Selling a cash secured put means you agree to buy 100 shares at your strike price if the stock drops there. To make sure you can, your broker is going to set aside the full amount of cash as collateral. Now, it can depend on whether you have a margin account or a Reg T account, but most people with a small account are going to have a Reg T and they're going to have to put up the whole amount of capital. So let's look at an example using Bank of America. It's trading at around 51.80. If we were to sell that 50 strike put option, we're going to have to put up $5,000 in capital for one trade. And that's basically your entire account if you've only got a $5,000 account on one position on one stock. There's no diversification, there's no dry powder. If that one stock has a bad week, your whole account is going to have a bad week. And if we zoom out, you can see here, huge amount of risk on the trade for just a small gain of $152. And that's the real problem. It's not that put selling doesn't work for small accounts, it's just the cash secured version was built for accounts with a lot of cash. You need a structure that gives you some income without your account freezing from one trade. So one of the first things people will do in this case is they'll go for really cheap stocks. It's not necessarily wrong. You could have a quality $10 or $15 ETF that needs far less collateral than a $200 stock, but these days they're harder and harder to find. And here's the trap with that approach. Low priced ETFs and stocks tend to be kind of in that junk category or penny stocks. A $4 stock is cheap for a reason, and cheap isn't the same as good. So lower priced underlyings are a good tool, but on their own, they're going to just stretch your account too far, and you're going to still be taking on too much risk and perhaps using the wrong type of underlyings. So let's have a look at what you can do instead. So if you only take one idea from this video, make it this. A put credit spread is a cash secured put, but with the risk capped. You sell a put, same as before, but then you buy another put at a lower strike, and that is going to cap your risk. We can see here now our risk is capped at $400. It's the exact same stock. We're still generating some pretty decent income. We've given up about $45 in premium, still generating about $105 in premium. But we've cut our risk and our capital requirements from $5,000 down to $400. That's the absolute maximum loss that the trade can make. Now you do get into a little bit of a tricky situation if the stock ends here in between the strikes at expiration. That's a situation you want to try to avoid. So if the stock does drop below the short strike and you're within the last week or so of an option's life, you want to make sure you close it out so you don't have a massive assignment on that short option and the long option is not covering you. I've got another video on a $700,000 horror story that one of my friends experienced. So we've got the same stock, basically the same bet that the stock's going to stay above 50. One version takes $5,000, the other version only takes $400 in capital requirements. Now, capping the risk isn't free. Obviously, you've got the cost of that insurance, that long put, so you do collect less premium overall, but your actual return potential is a lot higher. You're giving up just a little bit of income for defined or capped risk, and for a small account, that's a trade worth making every single time. One quick note on probability. When you're selecting the short strike, you choose how far out that's going to sit. Further out is higher probability of it expiring worthless, but less premium. If you come closer in, you get more premium, but you've got less margin for error. Pretty good reference point is selling the short strike around the 25 delta. That's a pretty popular level for most people, and that's a roughly 75% probability of expiring worthless. Here's something that took me years to respect when I first started out trading back in 2004. It's position sizing, and that's the main thing that's going to kill accounts. Defined risk only protects you if you size the position sensibly. If you've got a $5,000 account and you put on a spread that risks $1,000, that's 20% of your account on one stock. A sensible reference point is to keep the maximum loss on any single trade to a small percentage of your account. For me, that's around 5%. So on a $5,000 account, that's maybe $250 of risk per trade. Now it's going to feel really small. The profit potential is going to be pretty low, but it's going to mean that no single bad trade can wipe out your account. And it's all about just getting practice. Just keep practicing and building that account, not taking on too much exposure and wiping out the whole account. You're not going to get rich in 1 month, but the goal is to still be trading, still learning 12 months from now with your account intact. Hopefully you've added to it from savings. You're building your account slowly from these trades. So let's be honest about what a small account can and can't do. A small account really is a learning account. It's not going to replace your income from your job. The idea is to build a process using amounts that are small enough that the lessons are not going to hurt you too much. And the skills you learn with a small account are going to benefit you for the next 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, while you're building that account to a bigger size. The key is to focus on the process, and the profits will take care of themselves. So as you can see, having a small account doesn't prevent you from selling puts. It's just that the cash secured version probably isn't the right starting point. Put credit spreads, on the other hand, give you the same income concept with defined risk and a fraction of the capital requirement. So you can run a diversified account instead of betting it all on one stock. Remember to size your position so that no single trade is going to blow up your account. Keep your expectations realistic and judge yourself on following the process, not the dollar results. Keep learning, and when your account grows, you'll be in a really good position. If you want to learn more about this type of trading, I've got loads of resources in the description below. If it helps, please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.